Welcome everybody back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA.
And we just finished up episode 6 of Star Trek Discovery. I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. The episode's called Lethe, which is like an ancient Greek word for like concealment and forgiveness, which actually makes sense into what happens.
Yeah, the episode,
That's but sense. They never like, I don't even know if I'm even saying that right.
This is probably the highlight of the episode.
I would argue, again, because in the very beginning, say this is the worst episode?
Yeah, it's
just because
awful.
All of the canon smashing is why this episode's the worst episode. So we start out on Vulcan, which doesn't really look like Vulcan.
No, I mean, if you see it from the movies, and particularly in the original Enterprise series with Archer, it's a desert planet, so therefore the sky looks orange.
There's no blue. Like, this has like it looks cool, but it doesn't look like Vulcan.
No, it doesn't.
See, that's the thing. They keep doing things and make things look cooler, but it's breaking canon every time they do it.
Exactly. That's not Vulcan. I'm sorry. It's just not.
So, we got Sarek, and he's getting on a transport shuttle, which their ships they don't look like Vulcan ships.
No.
They looked a little more industrial looking. I don't know. I just don't. Again, like I said, they changed something to make it look cooler, but at the same time, they're smashing canon.
But again, I know Star Trek, so if I was new to Star Trek, that's kind of neat looking. But I know Star Trek, so that ruins it.
So we get him. He's going somewhere. We don't know where he's going. But then we get back to the. I want to call it the Enterprise every single time. The Discovery, and we have Redhead and Michael are running. Like, thank goodness she's doing some exercise. I'm not saying that she's fat or whatever, but she's a little chubby. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see Michael's like motivating her, which
is fun. I don't mind that.
And they're wearing weird disco shirts.
Well, if you can tell us the comment section what that means,
is it an acronym for something?
I don't know either. I'm gonna look it up myself probably later because I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm like disco. Like I look DISCO. I'm like, okay, it's just like a weird thing. Like, what's going on? But
I'm just hoping it's not something stupid.
And she's like trying to help her. It's like, to get to the captain's chair, you have to make this physical thing. Like, she's giving her good advice to like help her grow because she's still cadet or whatever. And it's like, thank you, physical fitness, it's an important thing. Let's go ahead and do that.
Especially if you're going to be in Starfleet.
Yeah. So they're running around the ring or whatever, which is like, I guess.
I've seen that a couple times in Star Trek, so that's not uncommon.
But then they go to another scene where then it just there's a lot of jumping around in this episode.
Oh yeah, very much.
So it jumps to Captain Lorca and the lieutenant guy they picked up, and they're like on a Klingon ship, and they're just killing dudes and stuff. But the way they're talking, I'm like, this is a simulation. Because he wouldn't be so frank. And
literally a full-on holodeck. They don't have that in that time. There is no such thing as that.
So they're going around killing stuff, and this is the personal note for me. I would say that I'm a very versed in firearms, and I'm looking at the weapons they're using. There's no sights on them. So how are they aiming them? There's no hollow sight. There's no iron sights. There's nothing. It's kind of point shooting.
Yeah, I've seen other Star Trek weapons like that, but since they're using full-on weapons, not like the phaser, that looks
it's like
a little
the rifles,
weird.
And there's no kind of reminded me of the weapons of Gears of War. Like when they bring them up, there'd be like a little hollow sight would pop up, but that doesn't happen here.
Yeah,
they couldn't have done that to at least make it look a little more.
Well, another aspect about that scene I didn't like, and I think Crimson Sin hit a nail on the head when watching the episode. When I made sense that they had like some HoloLens kind of thing
like a VR headset.
Yeah.
So we show you, they haven't gotten full holodeck technology yet, but this is getting close.
Yeah, so that would have made more sense to me. I would accept.
But this is a full blown holodeck.
Yeah, they even have this. They can even simulate the background. Like if they could touch the things, that's just totally against.
Yeah, they still have like real weapons, like the physical weapons they're holding.
Yeah,
and it was kind of like if anyone's ever played the game Destiny, that's what it reminded me of. They're just like killing waves of bad guys. Like they're not even really fighting back.
Would never do that. No,
it's like ridiculous. Like there's a scene in the hallway. They mowed like 20 Klingons.
Because I remember times when Worf would do his holodeck program to fight. They would just stand there and he would just slaughter them. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Really... They fight back.
And then they're having a conversation about like, so where are you from? And Lorca keeps asking these very kind of personal questions. Then he knows, like, well, you're not really from Seattle because that area is outside of Seattle, so why did you say that? So it's laid in the seeds that, is this lieutenant guy a liar? He knows he came from the academy, he knows he did all these things, but why does he keep kind of pseudo-lying to Lorca?
He's saying, why? You know what he's thinking? Is he really a Klingon plant?
That's the thing people brought up in the comments before, is that he's a Klingon plant, but why would that captain on the Klingon ship fight him if he was a plant? Unless that captain didn't know.
Yeah.
And this is like way, way up there. But he seems like a pretty good guy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But he knows too much about humans.
But then he tells all these little lies. Little lies. Yeah. So it's like, what the heck's going on? There's something more with this guy. Something's going to come up with this guy. So they're talking after the training mission. And he's like, how many kills did the captain's like, I got 22 kills. And he's like, how many did you get? Like 20, 21. Like last thing he looks at and he got like double them out. Yeah. Well, don't ever lie about, being exceptional and all that kind of stuff. And then he straight up offers him the
chief of security.
Chief of security.
This is insane. He just barely was on the ship. He was just rescued, what, a day? Here you go. That's how it works in Starfleet. You're chief of security now.
Yeah, nothing. You just guys just handing out freaking command positions.
Insane.
So it's just in that whole scene, the camera starts spinning again. They start doing the stupid camera angles again in this episode. Yeah. Not as bad as episodes 1 and 2, but this one we get spinning cameras, 45-degree cants. Like, just keep the camera still.
This isn't our film, okay?
Yeah.
Star Trek. Don't do that anymore, please.
So we cut back to Sarek. He's on his ship, and we still don't know where he's going. And he's like, "Whoa, we've changed course. How come we're not doing this?" And then the other Vulcan that's on there puts a needle in his arm, and he starts to like glow. I'm like,
that's happened before in Star Trek.
And but when I first saw that, I'm like, is this like some kind of Vulcan drug this guy's using? But apparently it makes you like heat up and explode.
Yeah,
why not just have a bomb?
That's weird.
So he's like talking to him, and I guess they're like basically terrorists.
They're separatists, which the Vulcans have had that through their history, but like that by that time that was non-existent.
I guess he called them logic extremists.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this experiment with the Federation is a failure. How's it a failure?
Yeah, actually, logic extremists would probably be for the Federation, not against. They would be like, well, we need to kind of maybe, the only way to order to grow, we need to unify with the Romulans. That's always been kind of the call of those people. This is just no straight up, we want to just get out of the Federation.
So their whole plan is to like side with the Klingons in this part of the war?
It's insane.
That's crazy.
There was like a 2 separate factions from what a little bit later on in the episode. They talk about that. So were these Vulcans trying to get a deal with the Klingons to break off from the Federation?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
And,
Vulcans.
And again, classic 007 villain thing. He has to explain everything to Sarek, and then Sarek puts up a little shield. If he didn't say jack anything, it just blew up. He would have just blew up.
But that was more for our benefit as well.
That's for the benefit of the viewer. But it's
so stupid.
Wouldn't logic dictate you don't tell your enemy anything and just kill him?
Exactly.
Not so very unlogical, right? Ugh. So, but again, then, like I said, the episode keeps jumping back and forth. So we're back on the Discovery, and they're gonna eat like lunch, and she's like, "Oh, they're ordering like his breakfast," and then because Michael's so smart, she's like, "Oh, you need to have the right protein balance." There's like a egg burrito, whatever. Hey, for burritos and track times. I love burritos. And then she's like, "Salsa, no, make sure it's roasted tomato." That kind of cutesy talk, I didn't mind it as much.
It was endearing
because it was a little endearing because he's trying to help her like lose weight.
That's the thing I like about it. Yeah,
get her to lose some.
But
her name Tilly.
Yeah, I think it's Tilly. I think we're starting to learn the names. I know we're almost halfway through the season. We're getting the names down because I just don't care.
So,
but the one thing is, the replicator will turn around and say nutritional facts afterwards.
You chose a protein nutrient.
That will never do that. The replicator never did that.
It's a cute little thing, but it's unnecessary.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we got to do this because it has to be. You have to eat healthy. It's like, okay.
What if you order something not healthy? Hey, you're being a fatty. You're ordering
pork rinds and friggin' and pretzels. With
you made a poor nutritional choice. Like, would it?
I'm like, yeah, forget you. I'm not gonna have an argument with the dang machine.
So they're in the cafeteria. They order their burritos, and then the lieutenant guy's there, and he's like chowing down.
Yeah.
Did you notice? I don't know if that's anything to do with his character.
Or maybe because he was captured, they didn't feel that
he hasn't eaten real food. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Then of course Tilly is like all like into him. Yeah. Oh, he's such a hottie and stuff. Like, what is this, high school?
Yeah, they're like holding their trays. Like, it felt like if this was High School Musical, I'd believe it.
Yeah. Can we sit at your table at Teehee? Like, it just seems so juvenile.
And on Star Trek, it just did.
So they're sitting there and they're talking, and it's just like, Michael's just being a B-word again. Yeah. Being very Vulcan. Like, she wouldn't shake his hand. Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, why wouldn't you shake his hand? Especially when he's kind of being nice.
Yeah.
Because he talks about, like, well, whatever happened in your past, I judge people on what they're doing now. Yeah. Which makes sense, but you got to take into account things people have done in the past. But he's like, let's start fresh. I'm Lieutenant whatever. And then she goes to shake his hand, and she won't do it. She does, and then she gets, like, a tremor. And this is where they just blow the cannons completely destroyed. They retconned how Kotros work. Yeah. They just completely retconned it.
And I even called it, I go, I bet you it's her Katra. I even called it before it even happened. That's how stupid... You can see things from a mile away in this episode. I'm just letting you know that now, guys. It's ridiculous.
Everything up to this point, I thought, okay, this is going to be kind of a mediocre episode. This literally makes it the worst episode ever because the whole concept of this episode is based around the Katra and how she can connect with Sarek. And
through light years.
That's not how this works. No. That's not how any of this works. Yeah.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Just retconned it and completely changed how it works.
You can literally, not only do you, I mean, yes, it's the concept of conscious inside of her, literally talk to the man who's unconscious
in his
light
dreams,
years,
like in his thoughts.
and she's light years away from him. Light years. That doesn't work. And she's only human! That's another thing. She's not even Vulcan.
So we got Katra superpowers. That's the name of the episode. Should have been that. So, you know, she sees herself, like, in, like, his dream.
Yeah.
And the whole effect of her going into the dream, like, she starts... It's that whole Alice in Wonderland thing.
Yeah.
Like, she's falling into it.
Yeah.
And, like, she's there. And it's... From this point on, it's nothing but praise for Michael.
Okay,
she's top of the class over any other Vulcan. She's only human.
Yeah.
Even the smartest human that ever lived couldn't pass a Vulcan Academy.
The only one that could probably do it would be like someone, because she was enhanced with 7 and 9, because she was enhanced with Borg stuff.
Yeah.
She's the only human that could probably do it.
Even our enhanced humans
Couldn't
would
do
probably fail out of the...
Or they would just be mediocre.
Yeah, like Bashir, he would have been just... Meh.
Average.
Yeah, an average student.
Yeah.
But they talk about, oh, her test scores are so good in her fighting and everything. She did everything as good as better than any Vulcan ever.
Yeah, exactly. And another reason I'm disappointed in this episode, because even Crimson Sin was talking about this, and I was too a little bit. Because the last 2 episodes, Michael's the way I wanted her to be.
Yeah,
the science person who cared about that creature, who was kind of about that spores and what was going on. That's the Michael I want to see. Not this, I'm so bad, I can do whatever I want. It's
I'm the coolest guy ever. I called her a guy. The coolest person ever. I'm the woman that can do anything. I'm better than any Vulcan at the Academy. That is
I don't like that Michael. I like the Michael I saw the last 2 episodes, not this Michael.
So Michael drops back down to the worst character ever again.
Yeah.
She started to climb the ladder a little bit with some science stuff.
Yeah.
Where she, you know, like you said, she cared about the creature and she wasn't so focused on how awesome she was.
Exactly.
And we're back to Michael's awesome and everyone keeps telling her she's awesome. They literally tell her she's the best Vulcan who ever went to the Academy like 14 times.
Yeah.
She's only human.
Yeah, my goodness, it's this SJW virtual signaling. Oh, she's so great. She's so... It's still stupid.
So she gets the idea, oh my goodness, Sarek's in trouble. She tells the captain. The captain's like, what are you talking about? Then she explained it because she wakes up in sickbay. And she's talking to the doctor. And they're like, oh, the Katra, I've heard stories. I thought it was just a legend or whatever. And she explains how it all happened. And the captain's like, well, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And they're like, okay. She's like, if I get close enough to where he is, I can figure out that's where he is. And okay, they're going to mount a rescue mission. He tells... the Admirals, and the Admirals say, no, you're not going to do that. We're going to send our own ships. You stay where you're at. And he just defies Admirals again.
Of course.
Doesn't care. Then the Admirals don't give a crap. I do what I want to do.
Well, the thing is, why would they not want every resource to find him? He's the most decorated ambassador in Starfleet history. You're just going to not send anyone?
And it was just... And they were talking about... When he was talking to the other head engineer guy, and he always has a weird way of explaining things.
Yeah.
Like, he's talking about it, the transport something and something.
He wasn't a jerk, but the fact he seemed off. So I'm wondering to do with that's his doing with his drives that he's been doing.
I think he's just a jerk.
Yeah,
like he couldn't say, "Hey, if we do that and the gas is getting with the mixed star spores, it'll cause an explosion." He doesn't say that. He goes, "It'll go." What am I, 5 years old and you can't explain
why
it
would
to
you
me?
say it like that? It's so weird.
Because he's condescending.
Yeah,
he has to always talk down to everybody. So everyone de-evolved as a character. The last 2 episodes were mediocre. This one is back on garbage again.
They were building the characters like you were saying, like Michael and other characters. So we're there almost below to decent. No, now it's back down to.
And then he made a reference to it's like getting a hit of speed. Do they have speed in Trek times? Wouldn't all regular drugs like that be done with?
They don't talk about.
Why would he say that?
They don't.
I wrote that again. I have notes and stuff. I was like, why would?
I mean, it is in Earth's history, but that wouldn't be in that time. They don't have those things anymore. They don't do those things anymore.
So we see that he's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and Captain Lorca's in his quarters, and they're like, oh, we're getting a message from Starfleet Command or whatever they want to talk to. He's like, oh, I'll take it in my quarters, and he's like, no, she's here, and it's the same. Admiral from the last episode. Yep. And I guess we learned that her and him had a relationship.
They're kind of I would like to say buddies that benefits. Well, put it that way.
Here's the thing: they're having a conversation, and she has honest conversation. Lorca, we should call him Gabriel's first name, and you're acting. You have the most advanced ship in the fleet, and you keep doing all these dangerous things. We can't keep letting you do
And they
these
talk
things.
about this incident that we don't know about yet that we went through.
Yeah.
And then he was tortured on the Klingon ship just a couple days earlier.
And now you're in your command again. Isn't this affecting you?
Yeah.
So I passed every test. And I guess she was a psychiatrist. Because she starts asking psychiatry type questions.
I think he
how does it make you feel? And then even he makes a reference to it.
Yeah.
And then, and the most, again, in a very un-Trekkie kind of way. He basically says, hey, if we have an hour, I know something we can do in an hour. And she gets up and takes her badge off. Then I'm like, oh my goodness, thank goodness there's no nudity. No. Because that would have just flipped me for a loop. And she starts, they're about to get the, next generation boom chicka wow wow.
Ship ever did. We didn't need that. Yeah. It's like that was just.
So, okay. So this captain just bangs the admiral. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Then they come up with the idea that they're going to use Michael's going to use like this. She's going to be the beacon to find Sarek because their sensors were because
this is all in Kirk's time. They have all this technology, by the way.
So they're in this nebula. They can't find him. They're just in a general vicinity. And there's and Michael's like, oh, I'll use my connection, my Katra, and we'll amplify it, and we'll do all this stuff, and then I can find her. Because Michael can do anything. There is literally nothing this woman can't do. Nothing.
That's so annoying.
So they come up with this idea to amplify her and everything all within minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to have she's like, oh, I want to have Tilly with me, and because she's really, really smart. And it's like, well, she's just a cadet. Then, oh, I know the best pilot ever. And then it's that lieutenant guy. So it's like, oh, okay.
You only had him one time to fly. How do you know he's your best pilot?
I know. He flew one time, and he didn't do that great of a job.
Yeah. He blew up the ship. I mean, look, they got on the time. The ship blew up. So just for something, he didn't do that great.
So they go into the thing, and then they're setting up the machine. And it's like this little, head piece thing, and it attaches to her. And she goes, boom, she's back in the dream. And it's the same graduation scene.
Yeah.
Where she felt like she failed him because she didn't get accepted to the exploratory.
Yeah, they didn't want
And every time they keep jumping to the stream, it keeps about her not entering. But her mom's like, she's as smart as any Vulcan out there. And they just, every time, I keep bringing this up, anytime someone says something bad about Michael, they have to say something good.
Every time. It's so
every
amazing.
Single time.
That's not human behavior in our time. That's just not human, normal behavior. So you don't do that to people. That just doesn't make any sense.
So then she goes to, Sarek's like, get out of my mind. And they start fighting. And of course she can, fight back and kind of fight him off.
Even a Vulcan that I think Sarek this time would be over 100 years old could still pretty much beat her butt.
Still beat the crap out of her.
Yeah, there's just no contest.
It just blows my mind that she can even stand toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah.
At all.
Exactly.
And so she starts, getting her butt kicked real bad. And then they're like, oh, pull her out of the dream, pull her out. Mm-hmm. Again, when I say dreams, I'm thinking Inception. That's how I understand.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So they pull her out, and then she's like, oh, no, we still got to save him. But it's like she's dying.
Yeah.
Because I guess if you die in the dream, you die in real life. Again, Inception.
I mean, they never say that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I wish they would say it because that would be a Star Trek thing to say at that point.
And he's like, then she has a conversation with the lieutenant guy.
And actually a good conversation.
Yeah, because I even came to this conclusion, he's in his dying thoughts, he's thinking of me because I was his greatest failure. And then he's like, no, when you get close to death, you don't think about failures. You think about the people you care about and the people you love.
And maybe what you did was wrong.
Yeah.
What you did was a failure.
You don't blame people in your last thoughts. No. You think of all the things that maybe you did wrong.
Yeah.
I came to that conclusion way before.
But it was a good
line. I like that. See, that makes me think that this lieutenant guy isn't a bad guy.
No.
But that'd be, unless he's the greatest bad guy ever, and he'd just be able to hide it.
But ultimate deception, yeah.
So she jumps back into the dream again, and it's not really a dream, it's like his memories.
Mine, but
I keep saying dreams, but...
we don't know what else to
So they jump back into his little death dream, and she confronts him, and she's like, well, they start fighting again, but then she kind of pins him. And it's like, what are you hiding? What was this all about? I can save you, you just have to share things with me. And then he goes, okay, I'll show you what really happened that day. So when he's talking to the head Vulcan Council guy, and this, I can't believe this. It just blows my mind.
This is incredible.
This is insane. They're like, oh, she's so exceptional. Oh, she's so great. And of course, they're praising her again because Michael's amazing. Then he's like, oh, you have a son, Spock, and he's going to join the thing, and then he's going to join the exploratory group. Yeah. And that would be 2 Vulcan, not Vulcans on her crew, so you can only choose one.
But Crimson called it before the
I'm like, oh my goodness, so they're gonna pick one or the other, like pick your favorite kid. So he picks Spock, and they deny Michael, even though she's the most exceptional, better than any Vulcan there ever was. What? Explain the logic to that meaning.
And not only that, Spock's half Vulcan, so what's that guy talking about?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. He's half Vulcan, so that doesn't even apply to him. Because he's not a total Vulcan. What's that have to do with anything?
So, can anyone in the comments explain to me the logic of not having the best person ever to go through the Academy beyond...
It's almost like they're almost punishing Sarek. That's just so weird. That's so bizarre. Vulcans would never be that petty. They wouldn't do that.
And then I also didn't like the fact that they said that, your son Spock, your experiment, No, I think he loved his wife and he loved Spock, and it's not. I wanted to create Spock for this crazy experiment I had in my mind. I think he honestly, truly had feelings for his
wife.
Yeah, and then the fact that he didn't defend his wife there. That kind of irritates me.
He should have. I know the Vulcan.
Is that the human in me?
He should have. This is why. Hey, wait a minute. He did love her.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, my experiment. So the Vulcans are a little bit racist. Is that what they're going for?
They've had a strain of certain things, like when they were against mind melds back in Archer times. They gave stigma to those people, but by that point they already got past all that stuff. They're already following the teachings of what's his name, the original Vulcan in the Lightning period.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I can't remember forgot his name.
But
you guys tell me comic section.
Then after that, and then Sarek's like, then it's an apology tour for Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's saying how sorry he is, and even though you were the best, and it's just, oh my goodness, it's just patting her on the back every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Michael needs emotional validation every 5 seconds, or she'll kill herself.
This reminds me of the typical SJW Marvel comic. Yeah. I hate that.
This literally goes to the bottom of the pile. This is the worst episode ever.
Oh yeah.
Then, so when they're dying, like, she's like, I can help you, I can save you, show me what you did to save me. She performs a Katra in his dream, so this is like a layer on top of layers.
A Vulcan master can maybe do this,
she's just human.
Yeah, she's human.
How? What? How? That's how amazing Michael can do anything. Doesn't it show Star Trek Discovery, Michael can do anything.
That's insane. You're destroying
the cannon smashing.
He's destroying again. We're away from that the last 2 episodes. Now we're going back to it again. Full bore this time. Full steam ahead.
So humans can do Katras now. That's canon now. Humans can do it.
That's insane.
Just because she was raised by Vulcans? Are you kidding me? Unless he did some type of experiments on her and gave her genetic manipulation or something. But that's just me trying to bring logic into how the heck she pulled this off.
But again, that's against the eugenics, of course. You can't do that.
But Sarek, this is Sarek's experiments, right?
Yeah.
And then, they save him and everything. And, of course, it pats on backs for Michael because she's the greatest person ever. Then it cuts back to Captain Lorca, and he's has his shirt off. He's laying in bed. And, of course, she's laying next to him. Okay, we get it. They did it.
Yeah.
And thank goodness she's wearing, her... she's wearing the space bra. Thank goodness. I don't want there to be nudity. We already had cussing in the last episode. Let's not bring nudity into Trek, okay?
No.
And then she's there, and I guess Lorca has all these scars on his back.
And he has a scar on it that looks like a Starfleet.
Yeah, it's like an actual it's a triangle.
It looks like that Starfleet.
And then she goes to touch it, and then he jumps on her with the phaser in her face.
He has a phaser underneath his pillow.
Again, it reminds me very much like Wolverine. If anyone's seen the X-Men films or read the comics, Wolverine has. But this guy's not
gone through what Logan went through. Okay, that guy went through hundreds of years of torture.
It's easy to say that Lorca has PTSD.
Yes.
He does. He has post-traumatic stress disorder. And then she's like, see, I knew it all along. You just gave the right answers just so you can get your shit back. And I'm going to tell... Basically, I'm going to tell on you. But she's like, you can't have the ship anymore. I'm going to take it away from you. It's too important. You're not in your right mind. She keeps saying, you're not the man that I used to know. Yeah. This war has changed you. And then, of course, in Star Trek Discovery fashion, he has to beg her, please don't take my ship away.
Emasculation again. Unmasculinity of men again.
Yeah, he's like, I'm surprised he didn't fall to his knees. And she's basically saying, BS, I don't care what you say. After all,
I wish I could believe you, but I can't. I think this is another act of yours.
And you know what? I gotta agree with her.
Yeah.
He is kind of off kilter, and he does all these crazy cowboy type things.
He needs to probably go to the equivalent of psych ward they have in their time and needs to get better.
So Sarek's in sick bay, he's all busted up. And she goes and talks to him oh, do you remember anything that happened? Oh, I was unconscious, I don't know. You can totally tell he's lying.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, we're going to have this conversation, but I'm not going to force you because I'm better than you. She's a little head bob.
And she's a little strut are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then she struts out of sick bay I showed you.
One of the greatest Vulcans, one of the greatest ambassadors in Starfleet Federation history, she's treated like she was
take that, patriarchy, and she snaps her fingers.
So stupid. Oh, it's so stupid.
And then, of course, since our Captain Lorca is handing out positions on the bridge, their candy, he offers Michael a position on the bridge. Head science effort. So more Spock than Spock.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then this is so crazy because she goes, you didn't have to go save Sarek. And he's like, oh, I didn't do it for him. I did it because I need people on my side that will, follow me. So is he a mob boss? Gave her a favor? Then there'll be a time will come I'll ask you to do something and you can't.
All he needs is a little troll like this, and he's wearing the suit and just going like this. Yeah,
Captain Lorca's a mob boss. Mob favors.
Yeah, it's like Godfather.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh, I can imagine a scene coming up maybe in the future episodes where he needs Michael to do something that goes against everything she believes in. Well, I helped you save Sarek, so you have to do this for me.
Yeah.
What is this?
And maybe he wanted, Michael's as a good officer and realize she's willing to break the rules when it comes down to it. I mean...
And the thing is, so all that fan theory I read in the comments, you guys saying it was Section 31, it's out the window. Because if it was Section 31, couldn't you overrule that admiral?
Yeah.
Say, no, this is my ship. I'm Section 31. I can run this ship however I want. So if she can get him kicked out, there is no Section 31 in this.
See, what was with the black badges then?
Because the code black, whatever,
I guess,
black
but
alert.
That's stupid.
So this is not Section 31.
Which would have been so much better.
Yeah, which would have explained how he's being so, hips fire from the hip kind of captain. Yeah. And the whole mob boss, doing favors for you.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
So what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say also, I think what you find out that's what happened is Sarek was going on a mission to meet with Klingons.
Yeah, Klingons.
See, and this also comes up too. And then it turns out now he can't meet with them because he's, injured and all that. So guess who gets to meet with him of all people?
That admiral. That was going to take his ship away.
Of course.
And after all this, we were speculating like, oh my goodness, is he going to kill her?
Of course, that way because apparently she didn't even tell so she hasn't told the Starfleet yet, hey, look, we're going to take away his ship. He's not mentally well. She hasn't done that yet, of course.
Yeah,
not.
She's like, when this is all over with, I'll tell them. Why wouldn't she just send a communicate or something?
Especially if you think he's out on the table, I think, is he going to set up for her to take a fall?
I honestly thought...
I don't know with him. Lorca, he has this kind of mindset where I can see him do that.
So the Admiral lady goes to this very dark-looking little place. It's supposed to be in mutual... And there's some aliens in the background.
I think I see him in the original
series. So wearing cloaks and stuff. They look cool.
They look cool. I've seen them before.
So there's Klingons there. There's a female Klingon with this headdress on.
It's weird. And she's wearing this...
It's on her
jewelry
ridges.
That's on her ridges.
They look cool.
Look cool. I didn't mind it.
I don't mind the way that the female Klingons look.
They look okay.
As opposed to the male ones.
They look weird. They just awful.
So they get down and she's like, oh... I'm, from Federation, blah, 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 Emerald, this, and that. We want to build bridges and all that kind of talk. And then she's like, oh, yeah, exactly. They end up killing her 2 guards.
And they killed those 3 aliens.
They just drop them. So, Klingon betrayal. They don't care. Then that hologram of that one guy who stole the Kalis ship.
Yeah, and he's wearing the friggin' the paint.
Yeah, the one with the red paint. I don't even know if he has a name yet.
No, I don't remember.
And if he does, I wouldn't remember it anyways.
Hey, the Klingons are so forgettable in the series. I wouldn't remember it.
And so they're like, oh yeah, now I was expecting to get a high-ranking Vulcan, but I got you. It's so much better. So they didn't kill her.
No.
So they're going to capture her?
As a chip token, maybe?
Yeah, maybe or something like that. Or
wouldn't it be something in the future ever Loki has a chance to save her and he doesn't do it?
We'll see. Well, that does kind of come up at the end because the... alien, the first officer, he comes up to the captain. He's like, "Oh, she's been captured. Let's go and rescue her." And then Lorca's like, "No, we're not doing that. Not without clearance from Federation High Command." Like he ever gave a flying crap about
exactly.
that before.
Now he's doing that.
Yeah, now all of a sudden he cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Then even he calls him out on it. He's like, "Well, we've kind of done things our own way. Why are you doing this one? Oh, our ship is too important. We can't risk it without permission."
Always risk it. Are you kidding me?
He literally just risked it to get Sarek.
Yeah, exactly. Even though there were no Klingons in the vicinity, how do you know they weren't hiding in that nebula? You don't know.
So all of a sudden he cares about the rules.
Of course.
Is it because he doesn't want to rescue her because she'll turn him...
Oh, I know, right? And then to seeing the door close, I'm thinking, did he set her up for her to get captured?
I don't know.
I thought that.
I put nothing past this captain.
Either that or was the Vulcan separatists that maybe set it up to get Sarek captured. Well, if he survives that explosion, then we'll have him set up to be captured.
And then, the captain walks over to his window and he looks out and he has a phaser in his back pocket.
Was he going to shoot his first officer? He disagreed with
if he would have went against his orders?
I don't know. Is it showing, he's just out unhinged?
Yeah.
Or are they showing, is he willing to kill? I don't know with Lorca. This guy could do anything. He's so unhinged. I don't know.
He is the cannonball of cannonballs.
Yeah.
He's the Gambit of Gambits, the Guyver of Guyvers. He does anything he wants, and there's literally you don't know what he's going to do.
And earlier in the episode, the Admiral says your service record is commendable fighting Klingons, but there's more to being a captain than that.
And then your kill count.
Yeah, kill count, and that's all you seem to care about.
So I don't know. And then the episode ends right there, and I can't believe just overall this is the worst episode of Trek ever.
Yeah,
just because of all the cannon smashing. Yeah. The whole Katra thing They just completely retconned it. Completely changed how it works.
Besides, I think the episode where they meet those Native Americans in the original series, that was just offensive. But this is worse for other reasons. Just destroying the whole friggin'...
Again, I like to end it when I talk about things I liked and things I didn't like. I like the fact that Michael was working with Tilly to like get her more physically in shape.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why she was doing it, but I'm just going to pretend that's the reason why. It makes me feel better.
And just kind of helping her build her confidence. Like saying, if you want to be captain, there's things you have to be able to do.
But even that gets you right there saying, well, do find your own way to do it.
But this is like, yeah, I did. Which is when, me personally, I've learned that when people are teaching you things, you take the good, you take the bad, get what you learn from it, discard the things that can't help you, and then take the things that you learn. That's what she did,
which is nice.
Which is what you should do.
That was probably the best part of the series.
I like the lieutenant guy. He seems like a good dude. When he was piloting, he's giving good advice, but all those little mini lies he's telling...
So what's he hiding? Everyone's got secrets on this ship. Everyone's got an agenda.
The head engineer was kept to a minimum. He was a complete jerk like he always is.
But a little off, though.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't like... He was always a jerk, though. He
is a jerk.
He always had these weird ways he says things, and I can't just tell you what caused an explosion. I have to go... Oh, yeah, because the captain's so stupid, you have to explain to it in sounds.
I mean, I've actually seen other times of, like, other people doing that in Star Trek, but it's not in a condescending way. And this guy's so condescending, that's why he's doing it.
Let me explain it to you babies who don't understand. That's how he's talking. He's talking to 5-year-olds, and they're not talking to a damn captain.
There's so much vitriol in this series that's unnecessary. So much of it. It just doesn't fit Star Trek. Doesn't fit the Federation. They don't act like that. They're like, hey, check your attitude. Okay, you're done if you start acting like that.
So, just again, they already set up how the Kotras are all crazy in this version of Trek. Destroyed it. So it's just anyone who knows the series is just gonna hate it because it doesn't make any sense. No. It's like changing everything.
Like we basically said, we said before, the last two series, it took a couple steps up, and now it fell back down again.
The mediocre episodes 2 times, and this is another crap episode, complete garbage. Yeah, because it was a nonstop, how great Michael is, how wonderful she is. She didn't make the exploratory force, but she's so smart. Oh, she does, but she's the best fighter. And it's like, oh my goodness, shut up.
Yeah. And I'm assuming this time either Spock would be in the Academy or with Captain Pike at this point.
Yeah.
In Enterprise, so...
Unbelievable, because Sarek goes, well, Spock defied me and went to Starfleet. So if he would have just let Michael go on that, they both would have got what they wanted.
Yeah,
but it's like it's ridiculous. it's just the whole.
So his answer is after Spock doing that, being he didn't want him to do that, he's making Michael go to Starfleet. That's his answer to that. That's so weird. And at that point, saying Spock didn't take it. Hey, why don't you take Michael now?
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh, too late. She can't go into next year's class. I mean, come on.
See, I don't know.
That's so stupid.
So, I don't know. The disco shirts, if you guys can explain to me what the heck that even means. It has to be an acronym for something.
Yeah.
Or it stands for something. I doubt it's for the disco running class. Yeah. They were listening to weird music, too, while they were running.
Yeah, it seemed weird. It seemed like almost like it was out of place. I don't know if they were hearing it or if that was just us hearing that music.
I don't know what's going on there.
So
nothing else really stands out to me. I can't.
I mean... I want to say also another thing, too. It's just so weird, like, to see Vulcan not look like Vulcan. And the fact that Mother gave her Alice in Wonderland, I mean, for those other Vulcans, they would look at that like, what's this? I mean, I don't think you'd ever do that.
It's literature.
Yeah, but it's like...
thing, but...
Maybe you would do that in private in Vulcan, but would you do that in front of other Vulcans? I just see.
And when Sarek was talking to the head of the academy, whatever, he had like this really cool staff. He's like a wizard. It was like a wizard staff. The spikes on it and everything.
I've only seen staffs like that was when they're doing the Pomfar, like they do the ceremony or the marriage.
It was cool.
Yeah,
I want that stick. It's got to have +10 to lightning or something. It's like a full MMO thing going on
Vulcan
there.
Middle Ears.
So again, it's just laughable. The craziness, the lengths they go to uplift Michael is to the point of like, okay, it's patronizing now.
Yeah. You know what's when we said those other episodes were slightly better, they weren't doing that.
Yeah.
None of that was happening, and that's what made it better. We don't want that anymore. I don't want to see.
Oh, yeah, and then there was another scene, of course, another patting Michael on the back when they were looking for Sarek. Like, when they were setting up the ship, and of course Tilly's like, oh, you're a badass girl, and you're the coolest thing. Okay, we get it. You're in love with this chick. We get it. She's so great.
I mean, I'm sorry, but on other shows, you don't need to constantly get validated.
Yeah, always.
No.
But that's the world we live in now. Characters have to constantly be emotionally
especially they're female.
Yeah. But again, they're strong and powerful and independent, but they have to be validated all the time? What?
That doesn't work like that, guys. That's
not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
And then you make Lorca getting emasculated just really tick me
begging,
off.
please don't take my ship away.
Yeah.
I'll let you have sex with me again.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you the honor and you have sex with me. Come on. Hey.
It's a win-win, baby.
Jeez.
And he whips out the hurt, like he has like hard alcohol on him, like it looked like a bottle of Jose Cuervo. Like he just whips it out, like okay, let's start drinking, baby. So ridiculous.
Oh goodness, it's just like.
Is that gonna wrap it up? It does it for me. I don't know. I
don't know. I'm trying to think of other things, and again, the medical officer was fine. He did okay.
Everything, all the little side characters, because they weren't in it.
No,
more than like
exactly,
maybe 10 seconds.
Exactly. Which helped a little bit.
Notice how when Michael's the focus of an episode, it sucks.
Yeah, it does, because it's just they're so heavy-handed in how they have to praise. They're so heavy-handed. It's just off-putting. It's just off-putting for me to watch. They could be doing this to a male character to be off-putting. I don't want this. It
doesn't matter. I don't want any character to be constantly validated, like in all the freaking time. I want to watch a show about the lieutenant guy. He seems like a cooler dude.
Yeah. He seems more Starfleet. He's actually nice to Michael when he saw her.
Yeah.
And there's a little nice scene that gets the end. Crimson explained to me how she did herself against her, like how a human was.
Yeah, because then she sees him again in the cafeteria, and then he basically explains to her, yeah, those feelings are called being human.
I called it too before he even said it. I said the same exact words before he did. Because you're human? You're not a Vulcan. Stop pretending you are. You're not.
Yeah, you can take the good of logic, because sometimes you need logic, and sometimes you need to have your emotions. It's called being human.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she shakes his hand again, and she kind of says it more in a human way, because I guess she's meeting him for the first time as a human, not as a Vulcan. So, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Guess what? I get that. And until another thing is, I know, because she's quote-unquote special needs, they had to emphasize that in the earlier episodes, that, Vulcans, they don't have emotions. Yeah, Vulcans have emotions, they just suppress them. They have emotions, they're pretty dark emotions, but they keep them.
Yeah, I think it's pretty freaking violent.
Yeah, if you look in the history of the past, they're more violent than humans. They almost killed each other with nuclear war, so they're pretty awful.
It just seems like, again, but that's coming from someone who wrote an episode who never really watched Trek.
No, they
didn't watch any Trek. No. They watched the 2 new movies and maybe a couple episodes here and there, and then they wrote their own story. Because the way that they just...
And it gets me more tipped off. They do little homages to the original series, but it just seems kind of off-putting. Like, one thing I will say I like too is, I guess Crimson mentioned this too. When on the shuttlecraft we saw gears on the thing.
Oh yeah, they look at their little actual gauges and stuff.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Little touches. And I think of the graphics, they look good, but they look like a video game.
Yeah.
They don't look real. Not for a second that I think any of that was real.
No.
Because it wasn't shot with models. It's all whatever, just CGI.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think I can say much else about it. That's all I could really say. I mean, it's
so again, another bad episode. So waiting for a good episode. So we got another stinker on us.
Oh yeah, another stinker. 2 below averages and 2 and 3 horrible episods. Oh, okay, guys. Thank you, guys.
So I'm done. I've been your host, Crimson Sin,
and 15 PCA.
Thanks for watching.
See you later. Bye.
I unfriend you. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.